Dear student friends, hello, good morning everybody. Today we will start with the second unit, Introduction to Open Channel Flow. Open channel flow is a flow which has a free surface and flows due to the gravity. Pipes not flowing full also fall into this category of open channel flow. When the water is flowing fully in the pipes, then it is called as pipe flow or conduit flow. In open channels, the flow is driven by the slope of the channel rather than the pressure. The hydraulic gradient line coincides with the free water surface. Now we will see what is understood by steady and unsteady flow, uniform and non-uniform flow, laminar flow, turbulent flow, etc. Steady flow is the one when the traffic flow characteristics such as velocity, depth, area, rate of flow, etc. do not change with the time. If at any point in an open channel flow, if the velocity, depth or rate of flow changes with respect to time, the flow is said to be unsteady flow. That means dV by dt is equal to 0 means a steady flow. If it is not equal to 0 means unsteady flow. Okay. In practical applications, due to the turbulent nature of the flow and also due to the interaction of various forces such as wind, surface tension, etc., at the surface there will always be fluctuations of the flow properties with respect to time. Therefore, by considering all these into account, the definition of steady flow is somewhat generalized and the classification is done on the basis of gross characteristics of the flow. Now, uniform and non-uniform flows. If the flow properties are characteristics of flow, say the depth of flow, velocity or area in an open channel remain constant along the length of the channel, the flow is said to be uniform. That is, del U by del V, del U by del X is equal to 0 or del A by del X is equal to 0. Here del X represents in the length direction. As a corollary of this, a flow in which the flow properties vary along the channel is termed as non-uniform flow or varied flow. In here we can write del A by del X is not equal to 0 or del V by del X is not equal to 0. Then we call it as non-uniform flow or varied flow. A prismatic channel carrying a certain discharge with a constant velocity is an example of uniform flow. If we consider a prismatic channel carrying certain discharge with a constant velocity is an example of uniform flow. In this case, the depth of flow will be constant. Depth of flow will remain constant along the channel length and hence the free surface will be parallel to the bed. Suppose if this is the bed of the river, then water in the open channel will be parallel to the bed. That is the meaning of this statement. It is easy to see that an unsteady uniform flow is practically impossible and hence the term uniform flow is used for steady uniform flow. Right? Unsteady uniform flow is practically impossible. Therefore, the term uniform flow is used for steady uniform flow. Now, non-uniform flow are divided into two types: varied flow, gradually varied flow, and rapidly varied flow. Gradually varied flow and rapidly varied flow. If the change of depth, that is characteristic of flow, depth, velocity, area, etc., is occurring gradually so that the curvature of the streamline is not excessive, such a flow is said to be gradually varied flow, and it is denoted by or abbreviated by GVF, gradually varied flow. Frictional resistance plays an important role in these flows. The backing up of water in a stream due to a dam or dropping of the water surface due to sudden drop in a canal bed are examples of steady gradually varied flow. You can see from this figure, from this position to this position it is uniform flow, then suddenly there is a gradual decrease in the water level, that denotes gradually varied flow. And then when the water flows over a spillway, then suddenly it falls down and jumps, thereby it creates rapidly varied flow. In the next article we will see how it is defined and what is the good example of RVF, rapidly varied flow. If the change of depth, velocity, area, etc., that is traffic characteristic properties of the flow is gradual so that the curvature of streamlines is not excessive, such a flow is known as gradually varied flow. Now, rapidly varied flows. If the curvature in a varied flow is large and the flow characteristics such as depth, velocity, etc. changes appreciably over short length, instead of longer length, short length, such a phenomenon is termed as rapidly varied flow, abbreviated as RVF. The frictional resistance is relatively insignificant in such cases and is usual to regard RFS as a local phenomenon, whereas in case of gradually varied flow, frictional resistance is really significant there, whereas here it is insignificant. The same figure which we have seen in the last slide, same figure, a hydraulic jump occurring below a spillway or a sluice gate is an example of RVF, spillway, below spillway or the sluice gate. You can see here, you can see here it is the spillway. If you consider, then water flows very rapidly and then there is a jump occurs. This is known as rapidly varied flow, and this is an example. Varied flow can be either steady or unsteady. Gradually varied flow and rapidly varied flow may be steady or unsteady. Same figure, instead of going back again and again, on all the slides, this figure is taken. Laminar and turbulent flow. The flow in an open channel is said to be laminar if the Reynolds number RE is less than 500. RE is given by mu UR, rho UR by mu. RE is equal to rho density, mass density of liquid, U velocity of flow, R, that is hydraulic radius or hydraulic mean depth, and mu viscosity. If the Reynolds number is more than 2000, the flow is said to be turbulent in an open channel flow. If Re is in between 500 and 200, the flow is known as transition. Subcritical, critical and supercritical flow. When we call critical flow, subcritical flow, supercritical flow, it depends on Froude number, which you have studied in Fluid Mechanics 1. The flow in an open channel is said to be subcritical if the Froude number is less than 1. Fr is less than 1. In some books it is taken as Fe is less than 1, then we call it as subcritical flow. If Fr is equal to 1, if Fr is equal to 1, then we call it as critical flow. If Fr is greater than 1, if Fe or Fr is greater than 1, then we call it as supercritical flow. Fr is given by V upon under the root GD, where D is hydraulic depth of channel. It is also equal to ratio of wetted area to the top width of the channel T. V is the velocity, D is the hydraulic depth, G is the acceleration due to gravity. So how you can understand this D, ratio of wetted area to the top width of the channel? Suppose if we write a rectangular channel, top width is denoted at the top of the channel T. In case of rectangular channel, it is exactly equal to the bottom width of the channel. This is the wetted perimeter area. So you have to calculate the total area A, then A by T is nothing but small d. Prismatic and non-prismatic channels. A channel in which the cross-sectional area, cross-sectional shape and size, and also the bottom shape, bottom slope are constant is termed as prismatic channel. Means blood slope should be constant, shape of the channel will remain constant, then we call it as a prismatic channel. Non-prismatic channel is the one, for example, river, that is a natural river is a good example for non-prismatic because cross sections will change from section to section or from point to point. Most of the man-made or artificial channels are prismatic channels over long stretches. The rectangle, trapezoid, triangle and circle are some of the commonly used shapes in man-made channels. We may go for rectangle channel, trapezoidal channel usually we go for open channel, that is in the form of a canal that is constructed by human being, man-made. Triangle and circle are also used to carry the liquid. All natural channels generally have varying cross sections and consequently are non-prismatic. Rigid and mobile boundary channels. Rigid channels are those in which the boundary is not deformable in the sense that the shape, plane form and roughness magnitudes are not functions of the flow parameters. Typical examples include lined canals, sewers and non-erodible unlined canals. Unerodible means it cannot be removed by the flow of water. Even though it is unlined, such canals fall under rigid boundary. In contrast to the above, we have many unlined channels in alluvium, both man-made channels and natural rivers, in which the boundaries undergo deformation due to the continuous process of erosion and deposition due to the flow. The boundary of the channel is mobile. In such cases, the flow carries considerable amounts of sediment through suspension and in contact with the bed. Such channels are classified as mobile boundary channels. Mobile boundary channels. Thank you for watching. We will continue in the next class. Have a good day.